And while our other players are in the midst of their own brand of chaos, Maximus, you woke up this morning or this evening to rain pattering across the roof of the church. Could you please make your rouse check for the night?
I failed, so I'm hungrier.
You do feel the hunger start to gnaw inside of you a little bit as you maybe stir a bit, try to get your bearings. Did you also make your other roll for tonight?
Oh, well, that is a good question. Clarification before I rolled that. How long has it been since the previous night? Have I regained any willpower that I've spent?
Yes.
Okay. That will determine my dice pool. I passed with 4 successes.
Before you woke up, your mind had been filled with darkness. The familiar feeling of it closing in upon you. And as your eyes opened, you were like, not tonight. Not doing this tonight. And you, of course, passed your check. And you do not suffer any penalties. What does Maximus do when he first wakes?
Well, it's the first time in at least a few days that he's woken up without those dark thoughts gnawing at the back of his head. So I guess tonight he's kind of taking some solace in that maybe spending a little bit of extra time during nightly prayers just to be thankful for that. But the typical kind of nightly habits for him are after getting up, getting ready. He goes to confessional for the first like hour or so of the night, just like any other, kind of Catholic church. The confessional is open and receiving anybody that one needs to. So that's probably what he would be doing right off the bat.
Confession tonight, surprisingly, is not busy. You have a couple people come in. One lady, probably a waitress from one of the local restaurants. Her sins are not anything to a kindred would be considered damning. You go through the motions. Another gentleman comes in. Same thing. Little less than what you normally see. And as you're preparing for the next person who might walk in walks a semi-tall man, white hair, priestly vestments on. You know this person to be Father Donahue, who has been a pain in your side for a while now. There's always something he's going to nitpick. And as he's walking down the thing, You are here.
Of course. Where else would I be?
These nights, I am not certain. I heard. He does pause. He goes, "Can we talk in your office?"
You've been there before, as long as you're comfortable in that space, certainly.
Perhaps we should take a walk then.
That's what I thought.
And the back of the church doesn't have a particularly large grounds, but it's very clear he is going to take you down the block.
Sure.
His pace is slow, like he's not rushing. I heard that last mass had an interruption.
Of course. Why would you not have heard? It's your job to hear things. Yes, there was a rather urgent matter that arose that needed my attention that only I could take care of, and it was not something that could wait.
And what exactly was this matter?
Respectfully, Father Donahue, I don't ask after your personal life, so I would ask that you do the same for mine.
I asked because we had a complaint.
One of the congregation.
The mother of one of the altar boys, specifically the young gentleman you handed the communion cup to. I believe she used the words disrespectful. If it was an emergency, you could have called and we would have sent somebody over to finish.
There would have been an interruption regardless.
There would have, but she says her son was confused why you handed him the cup.
And I will speak to those that are beholden to me and explain to them again their duties. And if this parent desires it, I will have a conversation with her as well. And if she does not feel comfortable with the duties of one being in that position, then she can withdraw her child from it and I will find a replacement.
Very well.
Or should you desire it, Father Donahue, as I know that you have been practically inching in your way, you can send a junior priest to the chapel to work with me. Should another emergency arise, they can take my place.
I am glad you brought that up. There has been a recent graduate from the seminary. Needs some training.
Wonderful.
He will be here in a week. I will ensure that you get the proper documentation so that you are up to date. He is a little eager, but I think he will be a good addition to the parish.
I am glad to hear this, and I will most definitely make sure that he is comfortable in his role. If I have any questions that come up based on his portfolio, then I will let you know.
Thank you. Now, I know I have disrupted your confessional hours. I will leave you to return to it.
Maximus checks the analog watch on his wrist. It was about time for them to be over anyway, but thank you.
Good evening, Father Maximus. He does turn and head towards, you presume, his vehicle parked outside, an older model Toyota that looks like it's had a better life.
Sucks to be him.
And while you are out and about, your phone does get a text message.
What does the text say? I flip it open and check it.
It has an address and could you come see me, please?
Who's it from?
It's from Ash.
All right. I go change out of clerical clothes into streetwear. Just a nice pair of jeans, probably like just like a plain t-shirt and a black vest that's like done up over the top of it. So it's like a charcoal gray sweatshirt with a black, or not sweatshirt, sorry, t-shirt with a black vest over it. And it's like a suit vest, not like a jacket vest.
Dressing up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. The address she has you go to is a little occult shop she's attached to. It's a little hole in the wall. If you drove by, you'd probably miss it.
Understandable in Texas.
And she's waiting inside, looking her usual dapper 1930s wide leg trousers, button up shirt. She's got a long jacket over it. Her hair's down for tonight. Looks like she might have made at least some passing attempt to curl it a little bit. It's not the best. She looks nice, but not like if she was a Toreador.
Sure. Sheriff, yes, what can I do for you tonight?
Oh, we're going so formal tonight. I simply wanted to update you. I didn't think it should be over the phone. The fledgling that you found.
Mm-hmm.
We've got her settled. She doesn't seem to remember much. I'm working on it. It's a bit difficult. Dominate's not really my thing.
Storyteller, remind me, did I cloud memory on her? I think I did.
Not.
No?
You
Okay.
cloud memoried.
Oh, that's right. The Vincent. Okay.
human.
Yep. Okay. Well, I would say that that's no fault of my own, but circumstances pending, she is lucky to be unalive, or not lucky. No sire to raise her.
Tati is unusually warm-hearted. She just chuckled a little bit. She's basically taken her in, and will be ensuring she is raised within the traditions.
Well, I'm sure Vincente is absolutely pleased that she has taken on a childer. Is he back in town tonight, by the way? I think I remember something about him returning soon.
Not tonight. There's a little hiccup that's going on. He's playing.
You don't have to explain.
Oh, thank heavens, because I'm tired of explaining it. I had to get it from Eloise, and it was confusing to say the least. I try not to asked too many questions about that, but I did want to update you. I would have done
Mhm.
it over a text, but one can
I
never be too careful these nights.
yes, of course. I appreciate the update. Um, I am glad to hear that she is not in the hands of the Sabbat. Um, time will only tell if I made the right decision by not just beheading her in the diner.
She seems grateful, so maybe that's a yes.
She has been a vampire. I mean, I'm sorry, a kindred for less than a week. So give her time.
Yes, that's always a fear. Well, um, did you have any updates on this situation? I know Azra's out looking to see what else she can dig up. She's very thorough tonight. We've had reports that there was another one about 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't in here. It was in Irving, and the Baron took care of it very quickly.
Did I hear about that, storyteller?
You did not.
Interesting.
We only heard about it when we reached out to the surrounding barons to see if they had heard any news. That one wasn't a rose, though.
Oh,
Oh, yes, one of your clan actually.
Maximus's face kind of drops a little bit.
To be honest, he did show up
Are they
at.
still alive?
Uh, I don't know if you've ever talked to Baron Luis. He is cagey at best about what he does. I do believe his message was rather and you do see her, she just kind of like plays with the back of her hair for like a second. Rude. Amounted to took care of it.
How tall is Ash, by the way?
Not very tall. She's like 5'4",
Is she wearing
maybe.
heels or anything like that?
A slight heel, which would put her probably about 5'5".
Okay, she's still super much shorter than Maximus.
She's tiny.
Yeah. Um, Maximus steps up to her and like, so he doesn't have to talk as loud, but it's also like maybe like a foot apart between them at this point. Like starts to lift his hand up to put it on her shoulder and then stops himself and because he remembers that she's a Tremere, and then like clenches it into a fist and puts it back down at his side. Ash, you know what I know. You know who is back in town.
I know.
If there was a Lasombra that was sired, as much as they would be a fledgling,
I ran that
their yes,
possibility by Eloise.
their vitae is stronger than most childers, if it was his, which I wouldn't doubt.
How much do you know about Faye?
I know that if you run into one, you should turn around and not look at them, walk the opposite direction, and not say anything at all to them.
So, and she does like look around the room And she's sitting fairly close to like the light switch. She's standing very close to the light switch, turns it up to almost like a slightly uncomfortable for you level, but you understand what she's doing. Our mutual, I'm not going to call him a friend, troublemaker, is that a good term?
Annoyance.
I like that one better. Had a tangle with a fae.
How do you know this?
Eloise told me.
I'm convinced that there are no secrets that man does not know about.
It's unnerving. It's unnerving. You will not believe the amount. No, just assume he has dirt on everybody and knows everything. I'm convinced he has aspects, and that's deeply concerning for me.
Any abilities that he has that are outside of what are typical of his clan should not concern you because you know where he came from.
I know where he came from. It's still annoying and worrying. But
Anyway, Faye.
Eloise suspects that if our annoyance did sire a childer, it would not be a La Sombra.
I'm not even going to attempt to understand how that works. That's completely your ballpark, and
I,
yeah.
I tried to understand it. I still don't understand it. I'm convinced he speaks in circles half the time, and if I try to ask, he gets mad. So, it's. It, I'm less inclined to believe it's the annoyance and that we have a Toreador and a Lasombra running around that might be a trouble. Ironically, dumping fledglings in areas where they might get in trouble. That one was specifically dropped right on the Baron's front doorstep.
Unless there is something that is sanctioned in this city and agreed upon by both the movement and the tower, I am more likely to end the problem of having a new kindred running the streets not knowing what they're doing than to return them to you. The only reason that that woman even survived is because Raheem was there.
He
You
reminds me
know
of
that Alois and I are not on speaking terms right now. He has his reasons, and I think that he's a twit, to be honest with you. But the rite of destruction does not apply to somebody that is no longer officially a part of the tower.
that is true. If you do come across another one, I will see if Vicente will give me permission to give you and you alone permission to deal with it.
As much as I appreciate that, that only protects me in the court of the Camarilla, because I'm going to do it regardless of whether I have a library card, as it were.
I know. I just don't want you to get a horrible late fee.
Fair. The last thing that I want is you knocking on my door. Well, no, I apologize. That's not the last thing I want. That came out wrong. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I wouldn't have an issue if you came knocking on my door, by the way.
Well, maybe I'll have to knock more frequently. I don't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to inform you with what I had found out. Keep your friends away from Parkland if you can.
Why?
Well, Ezra's not certain, and Vicente won't say if that Zemitzi is actually supposed to be there or not. Which, of course, he's the prince. He can do what he wants, but maybe if there's a dragon in the dungeon, maybe not poke it.
I will advise them that it is dangerous, but pretty sure that's Rhea's place of employment. I mean, there's no shortage.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's no shortage of hospitals here. I'm sure she could find another one, but I think she likes it. So
As long as there's not an overly level of poking, I don't want anybody to be turned into like an armoire or something. That's a bit harder to explain in a hospital.
you know, the whole flesh furniture thing is actually a pretty big cliche when it comes to them.
I don't know what they actually do. I've never seen one in person.
You don't want to.
Yeah, that's not something I want to go poke. Just please be careful.
I will take your advice under advisement.
That's all I ask. Now, I don't want you to stay too long. I'll check in if I find more information. I'm still waiting for a couple of barons to get back to me.
Are you sheriff and liaison to the anarchs?
Some of them like me more than Eloise. It's normally Tati, but she's mama-ing now. So I've kind of agreed to share it since Theo is permanently unavailable to fill that spot.
Understood.
Well, I will text you if I find out any developments. I will have Azra text you if she finds out any developments. And I will poke around to see if I can find anything at all.
Don't forget about our plans, by the way.
I'm still confused why Reunion Tower. We don't eat.
Come on, isn't it fun to just sit in a fancy place and pretend to drink expensive wine and push food around on your plate while you watch people?
I mean, it's not really my cup of tea. I'm much more a dancing girl.
Well, I have 3 left feet, so
We'll go and drink fancy, pretend to drink and eat, and people watch. People are interested.
that sounds good to me.
Well, I'm gonna go check in with Tati again. Hopefully, I keep hoping she'll remember something.
Eventually.
Good evening, Maximus. I hope you will be all right.
I always am.
You do see she like does like this little like bopping on her feet like she's debating, and then she just like very gingerly like pats you on the shoulder as she walks by.
There's the slightest of smiles on his face, but he doesn't touch her back because he knows how much a word hurts.
And your phone has gone off a couple of times with various texts. The first one, of course, is from Vi asking where everyone is. Raheem, of course, responds with surrounded by Sabat. There is a flurry of other what's going on? Where are you? Where are you people? Grumbles throughout the group chat. Do you respond to any of them?
Yeah, I would just send back where. Yeah, just where with like 4 question marks.
And as we transition to the entire group, Mason, Rhea, and Vi, all of your phones go off with a text from Max asking where.
Hospital? Send.
Maximus says be there in 15.
Gulp in parentheses.
Ellipses, traffic. Second message. I can't do what ellipses, the shadow movement thing.
Do you head to the hospital?
I stopped by the church again first because I need to grab my gear, but yeah.
And you do get to Parkland. You park in the parking garage. And when you do get to the church to go into the office to grab your gear, you are greeted with Bo laying against your desk. He just kind of looks up at you a bit, and you can see like his back, because he's an Australian Shepherd and doesn't have a tail, is like trying to wiggle, but he's also laying down, so it looks like a very weird shimmy. And Lola just barks at you.
So this is probably like 5 minutes or so after he said 15 minutes. Mason, I'm bringing your dogs.
They're fine where they are.
Lola still hates me. Are you sure about that?
She's just forceful with her love.
Okay, Maximus, before he grabs all of his gear and everything, like just not really paying attention to the dogs or anything like that. And then before he gets ready to head out, like there's a drawer in his desk where he keeps like some milk bones, and he gives each of them one. I'm sure Lola doesn't take it from him, but he puts it on the ground for her.
Lola looks at you, looks at the milk bone, looks at you again, growls at you, and then when you put it on the ground and back away, she tries to eat it and growl at you at the same time.
Maximus just shakes his head and leaves.
Bo, however, just took it and was like, yay. And you are off to the hospital. Mason, you are in the parking garage. Make me a wits and awareness.
Can do. 3 successes.
You had heard the female security guard walk away, and you were like, okay, she's probably back on her rounds. And as she walked away, you heard her on the radio. Couldn't quite hear what she said. You were presuming radioing down because Raheem was on his way down. And as you're sitting there, you see a tabby just kind of skulking away around. Kind of like perching under a car, doing the cat thing of where the ears turn. And then are you still by the bike?
No.
Where would you have gone?
Just shuffling around and making sure not to just really hold a single position in any way, shape, or form.
And the cat, like, you see it dart out to, like, grab something. And you see, like, a little cricket hopping away. And the cat just chasing after it.
So Mason's going to split his attention a little bit here. He's going to try to keep himself as best positioned as he can to keep an eye on the bike, while still also maintaining a sight line on the cat, and just kind of watching its behavior. Due to his familiarity with animals, he's just going to kind of keep an eye out to see if there's anything amiss with the behavior of the cat at all. I know, generally speaking, it looks like it's just playing around, but
You do see it, like, attempt to pounce the cricket again. Misses completely. Does the cat thing of, oh, nobody saw me do that, and, like, lick its paw and clean its face a little bit. The cricket goes about its business. You see another security guard make another round. Different one this time. Short, dark hair. Shorter woman. Not nearly as tall and slender as the one that Rhea knew. She shines, like, her light around. Sees you. It kind of blinks a couple of times. Are you waiting on someone, or?
yeah, one of my friends is getting taken care of inside, and as he's talking, he's going to kind of slowly just shuffle in the general direction of the security guard, and once he gets up near her, he's going to lunge forward instantaneously, grab a hold of her, and sink his teeth in.
Make me a strength and brawl.
Yep. Five successes.
As you go to lunge for her, you see both of her forearms come up to block you. Because she got 6 successes. You do see briefly she looks at you, looks around, and she lets her eyes glow a little red and gives you a very fangy smile. Seriously, at a hospital?
Does Mason recognize her?
Make me a wits and streetwise.
Sure.
Add an extra die for this roll.
7 successes with a crit.
Well, you don't know her name. You have seen her around Mara's cat cafe. You would guess she's either a member of the coterie there, or at least a good friend.
Cock his head to the side. This isn't your turf.
No, it's my job. She does like gesture to her uniform. We all gotta earn money somehow.
Usually our kind try to spread it out a little bit more. Not usually a great idea to have a bunch of licks working in the same place.
I mean,
He's
the
just going
only
to
other-
turn his back on her and walk away.
You do see like the cat goes over and bumps up against her leg. You know, if you're looking for a quick meal, I'd go down like a couple blocks. There's a bar down there.
I was looking to deal with complications. If you
It's
don't
just
make
rude.
yourself one, then you're good. And he's going to keep wandering away from her and making a way back to where he can get a good eye on the bike again.
When you get back to look at the bike, it's gone.
He kind of pops his head to either side, cracking his neck, looks back over his shoulder. And you're
She's
already
going-
fucking everything up. And he's going to hop out of the parking garage outside.
You hear her mutter something that just sounds like that was rude. And she like you hear her make like a noise that sounds like she's communicating with the cat. And there's just like this high-pitched little meow back. Like they're definitely talking some shit.
He's going to ignore it entirely and make his way to where the bike was parked and drop down to a knee and take a whiff in, trying to get a good sense of the rubber and asphalt peeling away at each other as the bike would have been rolling out, and see if he can get a basis of a direction of where the bike is heading off in.
Go ahead and roll it.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. 6 successes. No crit this time, though.
You can smell oil, like where it had been sitting for a bit. But you don't smell any rubber on asphalt.
I'm going to shuffle his way down to the end of the alley. In particular, the direction that the bike would have been facing, assuming that the individual must have walked the bike away, because one, he didn't hear it, and without the smell of any kind of rubber there, it's very unlikely that there was enough friction to denote that the engine was propelling the bike forward at the time. So yeah, heading down to that end of the alleyway.
And as you're coming down from the parking garage, because it was up on the second floor, you see Maximus's car pull up.
In his usual fashion, he'll just assume that Max has probably clocked him as well, and he's going to completely ignore the fact that a vehicle of someone that he knows is pulling up.
Max.
With
make me
his
an awareness
focus
to see if you clock Mason.
and his focus is remaining on trying to see if he can track down. Quick look in either direction as he comes up to the intersection of where the bike may have gone to.
You
4
don't see the
successes.
bike. You see Mason. You do not see the bike.
He'll just grit his teeth angrily and shuffle back into the alley.
Maximus just kind of gets out of the car and closes the door, leans up against it. What's good?
Where did Maximus park?
Is there street parking around here?
Yes.
He got lucky and got
He's
a
going
street
to
parking
ignore
space.
that then and
Oh.
just continue shuffling in. Too public. Would seem a little strange for a person just to abruptly stop and start chatting with a homeless person for no reason, so he's just going to make his way away.
Maximus rolls his eyes, waits a minute, like probably like pays the meter, and afterwards we'll start walking in the direction that Mason was going.
Once Max gets into the alleyways and closer down to near the parking garage, Rhea, know that other kindred are working her turf as well.
Well, I'm starting to believe that this place is your regular old mixing pot of kindred. To be fair, I'm pretty sure this place is like about as neutral territory as it gets. So
Young Licks are going to fuck everything up. Just shakes his head. No foresight.
young and stupid licks that they aren't always the same.
These young kindred never would have made it during the Sect War. He's going to kind of shift his way a little bit to get a look back into the parking garage and see if that other kindred is still meandering about in there.
You can see she's gone about her rounds. Like, you can see her as you're looking. She's, like, moved on. Like, the cat's trailing after her, like, tail up in the air. Every once in a while, gets distracted and tries to go after another cricket.
Working jobs like plebs. Turns back around. There was a kind of a suspicious looking bike parked out in the alley here a bit ago. Lost track of it thanks to the indiscretions of other kindred who shouldn't be randomly rolling up on people the way that they do. Fucking up our investigation. Anyway.
It's fair. Although
Raheem
remember,
and Rhea and Vi went inside. As
Okay.
you can imagine, I didn't go with them.
yeah, Well, do you need my help with anything?
I mean, if you want to help stake out, you're more than welcome. I'm certainly not going to complain on having more eyes on more locations. Otherwise, like I said, the rest of them are inside.
Maximus
And
pulls
he's
out his
gonna-
phone, sends them text message to the group. Do y'all need me inside? He doesn't say y'all. He says, "Am I needed inside?"
And while he's doing that, Mason's going to shuffle a little further down the alley and kind of slump down next to a dumpster in the alley.
A few seconds, Max group chat. This place is crawling with kindred. What the F?
Rhea, how many of them did you know about? Because you work here.
Like me?
Well, because you guys said there was a Demetri in the basement.
Well, that's a recent piece of information.
We're looking for that other guy.
Totally didn't know about that. Where we left off, we saw the other guy coming at us, right? He was walking down the hallway.
No, you guys, when we left off, you guys were going to go down to see Zachariah while Raheem was
Wait,
being
right,
treated
sorry.
separately.
Yeah, so the dragon in the basement, that's a new one. That's recent information. Didn't know all our security guards were kindred. Guess I'm thinking maybe they are.
I'm
That's-
thinking we should not be here.
Right. The mortician already knows about us though, so and he was kind of on a rampage, so maybe we can ask him a few questions and then bounce.
I didn't meet him, so take the lead.
Yeah, he's a real pip. As I hit the elevator button.
Maximus just sends a text back to the group since there wasn't an explicit need for him to be inside. That he just says, "I'll be outside with Mason. If you need me, text me the floor number."
Text back, look out for escaping kindred.
And you're able to take. For Rhea, this is a familiar elevator. You've taken it just the previous night. Find this elevator is a little creepy. Like it's an old hospital elevator. Does the whole bounce thing as it stops. Unbearable amounts of screeching. Just very unsettling. There's a light above that just keeps flickering for some unknown reason.
This
And
is
then the door-
creepy even for us.
It's when it stops making the noise, that's when you have to worry.
The doors do open, and it's the same hallway you were at. Corridor that leads down to the morgue with the keypad that now has just a sign taped to it that says out of order. Please knock.
Perfect.
Why do I feel like you did that?
It was a group effort.
Yeah.
Walk up to the door.
After like a few seconds, the door does open. This time, instead of the familiar figure of Zachariah, there's a tall brunette woman who opens the door, kind of looks at both of you a little surprised. Oh, picking up? Or and she does like look around, realizes that there's not like a gurney with you and goes, picking up? Question mark.
Is this a living, breathing person?
From appearances, yes.
Yeah, love that answer. Oh, we were just looking for Dr. Zachariah. He promised he was going to buy some raffle tickets. He said he was going to be here.
Oh, he stepped out for lunch like 10 minutes ago. I can call him and see how long he's going to be. I think he said he was just going to the sandwich shop around the corner.
In my head, highly doubt that. I glance over at Vi, see if Vi has picked up any vibes on this.
Vi is just observing and trying and checking the area.
You can make me a wits and awareness or wits and investigate, depending on how you're doing it. Do you want me to call him?
Well, he did say that he was gonna give us some money for the raffle ticket. Maybe there's just an envelope on the desk. Is that cool? Can I just check real quick?
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, go ahead and check. He forgets things all the time. You should have seen the last time somebody was coming to pick up. He disappeared.
3 successes.
3 successes. Looks like a morgue. There's no bodies laying out. It looks pristine, clean. You get the slight feeling that if you were breathing, you would be inhaling disinfectant. Like, and you do, as you peek in, you see like there's like a mop and a bucket, like she had been cleaning when she was interrupted. Yeah, his desk is right here. Go ahead and look through it. And Rhea, are you in your scrubs?
Yeah, I have my scrubs and my ID on. Is she wearing any kind of uniform or?
She's dressed very similar to you, like dark colored scrubs. Like she's got her badge pinned up in the pocket. She's got a couple pins in there. Her brown hair is pulled back up into a bun. And she looks like a little nervous. Like she's not sure what you're looking for, but she's not believing that you're there for raffle tickets.
I make a note of the name on her badge.
It says, so her last name is Williams and her first name is Zara.
Does that mean anything to me?
You would have heard from Lex that she was like the new kid on the block. Like, I heard this one just got like fresh out of med school. Can you believe that? They're sending us newbies. But like nothing bad. You get she's just very, from what he said, like his brief interaction like he had from her was that she is very determined to like do a good job and impress. But you're not sure how that's working with Zachariah.
I go over to the desk. I make like I'm just like looking for an envelope or something. Oh man, it is sparkling down here.
Oh, I tidied up. He leaves things everywhere. Like I found his notebook in the most random of places. Like it gets dirty in here. And so I just tidied up. He usually doesn't mind. He can be a bit grumpy.
When she said she found it in a weird place, did she happen to look anywhere in specific?
She kind of like gestures over to like one of the filing cabinets. Like maybe she had found it in the filing cabinet, which again is not nearly as surprising. Like she isn't surprised by it.
Would he have put the envelope in one of these file cabinets?
Oh, I hope not. They're locked.
Do you have a key?
Did he leave the key ring? And you do see like she's like opening one of the drawers, and you see just a clutter of like pens, paper clips.
Let me see if it's unlocked, and I'm gonna just force it open a little bit.
Go ahead and roll me a strength and brawl.
If I see what Vi's doing, I'm gonna wander over to where the bucket and the mop are.
Mhm.
And oh, funny story. Totally, once I came down here to pick up money because we were doing like a lottery thing. It was so
Uh-huh.
we didn't win, but it was a whole bunch of us were in the pot. He totally forgot to
Great.
like put the money in the body drawer.
Oh, I found one of his pens in there the other day. I really need him to be more organized. Yeah, you're able to just pull it open.
And before she even notices I've done it, I'm gonna see if the notebook is still there.
Go ahead and roll me a wits and investigation. Like, you won't believe like the places he put stuff. Like I found like he had a coffee filter in his desk. I don't know why. It was really
Two
weird. Like the
successes.
it takes you while Rhea's playing distraction. You're able to like flip through, and you do see like it's one of those small spiral notebooks. It looks like he just dropped it in there and forgot. It's like wedged in a file, like sticking up a little bit. Like it may have fallen out of his pocket.
That is now in my jacket.
It is now in your jacket.
Before anyone, faster than anyone could even see me do it, and just nudge the thing back like I never touched it, and just, oh, it's locked. I can't get it.
I don't think he left the keys.
We can just come back.
I'll let him know that I saw you. I didn't get your name.
Oh, I'm Rhea. Nice to meet you.
Okay. It's nice to meet you. I'm Zara. I'm like his assistant, I guess. I don't really know my role. It's like assistant slash janitor.
It's always hard starting out. You'll find your rhythm. You'll find your way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll let him know that you stopped by. Maybe he's coming down the elevator as you guys are leaving. Like he's random.
That is true. All right. Yeah, I don't see it. Well, maybe I'll come back.
Oh, how
maybe at
much
the
were the
end of this
raffle
shift.
tickets? I have like a 20 in my pocket. Maybe I can buy some.
They were, man.
I don't have
so
any change on me.
They were like a prepaid thing, and I don't have any change. If he had left his envelope, there'd be change. It was like a prepaid thing, like I'm collecting after the fact. But I'll let you know about the next one for sure.
Okay, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
let me know. Yeah, I'll
Cool.
keep an eye out for him. I don't think he's gonna be gone too long. It's kind of slow tonight. But yeah, I'll let him know.
Thanks. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Get into the hallway. Yeah, down to the sandwich shop. My ass.
As you're almost hearing the door close, you do hear like the sound that she's gone back to mopping.
All right, so he's clearly not going to lunch, but I guess we got to make it. I've done it where you have to look like you went to lunch. So
He also isn't getting that filing cabinet relocked anytime soon.
did you get it?
Oh, of course.
Let's head back upstairs.
I don't know if we need it. It just, I wasn't doing anything else useful.
If he notices it's missing, that might be
She said he forgets where he puts it all the time. He probably will just think he lost it.
I head back to the elevator, push the button.
It opens. Nope, nobody's taken it since you guys went in. It is a very bumpy, screechy. Occasionally it halts randomly and then starts up again.
Rhea, if I get taken up by an elevator, I'm taking you with me. This is not how we are designed to travel.
Well, I mean, I guess if we're both in the elevator, that's just going to happen though, right? So
I mean, not necessarily. It depends how it hits us, how it goes. I also might be a little sturdier than you. You might actually get killed first.
That's comforting.
Well, I've been trying to be.
No, yeah, no. Yeah, watch your step on the way out. We'll take it back to the ground floor.
Doors do open, and it is the familiar side of the ground floor that you know very, very well. In the distance, you can see Izzy with his feet propped up on the desk, working on his crossword puzzle. He's got kind of like the pin in between his teeth, like he's thinking about something. And pauses and like looks like he's gonna put something down and then goes back to thinking. And it's quiet. Like you can occasionally hear like the chitter chatter from the ER area. A couple of nurses that are on duty just chit chatting, going in and out of rooms. Like it's very normal.
I think Raheem said he was content just staying here for a little while if needed.
He's a survivor. He'll get in or out of there as he needs to. Hey, Vi, are you good at
I'm good at hitting them, not so much as spotting them.
what about this guy down here? And I point to Izzy.
I'm gonna just looking, see if he's breathing, see if he's blinking.
Roll me what's an insight.
That is 2 successes.
He looks like a guy sitting at a desk. You think you can hear him sigh, like as he's still trying to figure out. But you're just like,
I could probably take him out, but that's all I got.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Anne is having a hard time remembering. We already suspect him, right?
is he?
Yeah, no.
You originally thought he was the one in Remy's notebook that Raheem has.
Mhm.
Unless I don't have my notes on me, unless Raheem passed that notebook off.
Uh-uh.
I still believe it's in his possession. You ruled him out in one of our prequel episodes because the handwriting was different.
Right. Well, we know that Maximus and Mason are outside, so maybe we just go find them. Make this hospital less too kindred real quick.
Follow your lead here.
I'll head out to the parking garage.
As you're going out, you see Daria walks in. Looks like she kind of like walks behind Izzy, like she's trying to be quiet about it, and like grabs the back of his chair and bounces it. You do see he like flails a bit and falls out of it. And you do hear a ow.
Well, now I'm suspicious of everyone, so now I take a harder look at her.
Well, Mia, what's an insight?
Like now she's just getting paranoid, which is probably okay.
Not paranoid if it's true.
A success.
It looks like a person who's playing a prank on a friend. She didn't appear to move faster or with supernatural speed. And as she did pass you, you could hear her footsteps. So she wasn't trying to mask that she was sneaking up on him that well.
I think I'm just getting hungry. I'm starting to get a little paranoid, man.
Yeah, I would appreciate getting out of this crowded place full of people and not people.
Right. Parking lot.
As you both leave, roll me another wits and awareness.
I'm hungry, I guess.
5 with the crit.
Nice.
Rhea,
Hmm.
you don't notice anything. Maybe it's because you're hungry. Your brain is filled with, is that person a kindred? Is that person a kindred? Who is that? No, wait, I recognize her. I've seen her eat a burrito before. I can rule her out. But Vi, as you're looking over everybody, you do see an orange tabby cat come zooming in. Kind of gives you a wide berth as it passes. And goes over to where the guard's desk is and like butts against it. Like the kitty arch, the tail up in the air, like as if it's rubbing around it. And coils around Daria's legs.
Yeah. I assume the place isn't animal friendly.
No, lots of rules about support animals and
Yeah,
comfort
maybe tell that to
animals
the
and-
cat.
A cat?
Yeah. I'll just sort of nod in the direction.
I look down.
It's a ginger orange tabby cat. And you do see Daria's just like, I told Hannah not to bring it in here. Why is it? Go, get out. Like she's trying to shoo it out the door. And it's doing its best attempt at, look at me, I'm cute as I roll over and show you my belly and stretch.
Is that a collar or anything?
There's a collar, but there's not a tag on it.
Oh, poor thing is lost. I'll go ahead and take it to the shelter on my way out, and I gotta pick it up.
Oh, well, that's Hannah's cat. You don't probably know her, Rhea. She usually works the parking lot. She's a bring your fur child to work person.
We're on our way
No.
out there if you want us to take her with us.
Yeah, could you take her? You know, Cecily's allergic, and like I know she's an ER nurse, but I don't really think we need that level.
The cat didn't seem to like me, but regardless, I am going to very quickly just grab the cat before the cat even knows I've grabbed the cat.
It's weird. You're used to cats running away from you, hissing, spitting, clawing. Pick it up. And it kind of just hangs there for a second. Like it's just like, what? You picked me up? What?
And she's just gonna not like carry, she's just holding it like this, like I'm gonna let go.
Thank you.
Yep. Right, Rhea, it doesn't not like me, which is super suspicious.
Yep.
Suspicious cat. And she's saying this to the cat. Suspicious cat.
Meow.
I don't understand you, but no one suspect of you.
I let the cat
Meow.
sniff me. Like,
It gives you like the once over sniff, like as if like you might have something interesting on your hands. Realizes that you don't have a treat or anything in it, and just kind of like gives you like a look of like, seriously, you've wasted my time. And then meows again.
yeah, this cat's not worried about the fact that
Yep, it's
it's not worried about that.
it's friends with someone.
Let's go meet, try and find its friend.
Well, maybe our friend can find its friend.
This is getting a little much.
Yeah.
I follow Vi outside.
Still very much like arms fully outstretched with the cat. Does not know how to hold a cat.
Mason and Maximus, as you guys are waiting outside, Mason, you found a spot near a dumpster to sit and watch. Maximus, where did you decide to wait?
I think I'm trying to be somewhere that's like Can you see the entrance of the hospital and the entrance of the parking garage, or are they in separate areas?
You've managed to find an area where you can keep a little bit of an eye out on both. The parking garage is closer to where the ER entrance is.
Mhm.
So you've angled yourself, the car, at like a certain position where leaning up on it, you are going to have to tilt your head, and you can see like half the entrance to the ER, but it's enough to see people walking out.
All right. I'm just watching.
Both roll me wits and awareness.
Five successes.
4, 8 successes with a crit.
Jesus. Maximus, you see, the occasional car coming in and out. You do look. They're like, that's not the motorcycle. That's not the car we're looking for. You do clock a familiar figure driving into the parking garage. You know that the corner of your eye, you're able to catch that it's Zachariah. Probably returning from being elsewhere. And you do see like patients coming and going, the occasional ambulance drive in.
I sent a text message, by the way.
Okay.
Damn, I wish emojis worked for Maximus. The dragon is back at its roost.
And Mason, you're out near the dumpster. So you cannot see Maximus where you're at. You do see the same security guard walking the parking lot. The one you tried to take a bite out of. It stops every once in a while to like look up, like tilts her head. And you lean a little bit so you can see what she's doing. You do see Seth up on top of one of the light posts, and it is still dripping rain. You know when an owl looks distinctly unhappy, like they are about to tear something apart. Just the absolute look of, I hate this. And you can hear her for the briefest second, like hoot at him. You just see him ruffle his feathers like he's not having any of it today. She like goes about her business. And you do see where you're at, you're able to see the ramp up to the second floor of the parking garage. You can see Zachariah's car, and you're able to get a better look at him than Maximus did. He looks just kind of annoyed, like something has irked him.
Welcome to the club, Zachariah. And he's going to hold his arm out to see if the owl will go ahead and come down and land on his arm by chance.
Apologies, the Second Inquisition has found me. If you heard the dog bark in the background, I'm house setting, there's dogs. You see Seth kind of looks at you, and if an owl could fully narrow its eyes at you, it would. before he decides, yeah, sure, why not? That looks like that's out of the rain. And glides over. As he's coming down, he goes to like grip your arm. He's really wet and it's been raining, so he kind of grips it a little too tight and also smacks you in the face with a wing. You get it that it's not intentional, just more that he's very wet and he's uncoordinated.
And Mason will ignore it essentially for the most part and kind of just brush it off. But he will look over and with animalism. Did you by chance see where the bike went while you were keeping an eye out, friend?
There is the rustle of wet feathers as he does shake himself to try and get most of the rain off.
Mason will actually pull one of his arms out of his coat and just kind of hold it up over the owl while the owl's up on his arm.
Starts preening a feather, just like, I'm wet, I don't like this. Oh wait, I'm dry now. This is much better. Yes, the thing on the two circle things, that thing. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that was right back there.
Yes, I saw it leave. It was not doing the horrible noise that it does, but it was moving fast.
I'm familiar with that trick. Did you see which way they went?
Pause. Head tilt. Head tilt towards a very unnatural angle. Looks painful for a kindred, but normal for an owl. It went down a little bit and then turned on and left. Do you have a rat?
Mason will quick look around the alley actually to see if there's a rat.
With your 8 successes, you do see a rat.
He will try to quickly nab it for...
Make me a strength and brawl.
Sure. Will the specialty in grappling apply in this instance?
Sure, you are trying to grab a rat. Grapple a rat.
Sweet. Only 4 successes.
It's a quick little rat, but you're able to grab it by the back of its tail and drag it closer.
Just kind of hold it out. This what you were looking for?
Yes. Raheem said he would give it me a rat, but he is not here.
Yeah, I think he's going to be busy for a little while. You can have this one.
Thank you. And Seth does settle into enjoying rat dinner. Looking very pleased with himself that he did not have to go hunt in the weather, but still is getting food. And Rhea and Vi, as you're coming out, Vi, you're holding the cat at a natural level. And you see Zachariah stepping out of his car, shutting the door.
I am looking for Mason. I'm trying to deposit this cat. I do not want it.
You do not see Mason on the second floor of the garage, the parking garage. But as you're walking by, you can look to your one side and see Maximus outside on near his car.
He's not what I'm looking for, and just keep going.
Does Zachariah see us?
You do see him like close the door, locks it with the physical key. And you're looking at the car, and it's an older model car. You don't think that thing's ever seen a fob. And as you He does turn and he looks at you. Oh, you're back. Hi.
Hey, we met your new assistant.
Was she mopping?
She was actually. Place looks great. Was she not supposed to be mopping?
No, she's supposed to be mopping. It's just she mops a lot, and it's a lot, and I can't get rid of her.
I think she's just trying to impress you, man.
Wonder if I write her a glowing recommendation, they'll move her up a floor.
That does tend to work.
You do see like he ponders it, and you do see in his hand he has like a sandwich bag.
So, lunch?
Appearances.
Tell me about it. Hey, man, for a place that's supposed to be like a fucking no-fly zone, this place is, I think crawling with kindred. Like, you know that, right?
I am aware.
Cool. Hey, we were talking the other night, and we all had some questions about things that were happening. I don't suppose you've found out or heard anything interesting.
Define interesting.
You
Because there's
know,
enough with the he does look at Vi as she's like holding the cat out.
She has not stopped walking. She is looking for Mason.
She does know that that's Hannah's cat, right?
yeah, I just found that out. Yeah.
Okay. If you put it down, she'll probably run back to her.
They're having a process. I'm not going to interrupt that.
Okay. So what questions you looking for?
Well, things are going missing. Just wondering if you made any headway on that situation.
Not yet, but I have a suspicion.
Suspicion's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but this place is a no-fly zone, technically. And if we don't get into trouble, no one says anything. There's a lot of kindred who do work here at night that are just looking to survive another night.
I mean, are we all?
But
Go ahead.
I'd say let's talk in my office, but she's down there mopping. It's going to be forever for me to get her out of there. I'm convinced she took my notebook. I can't find it anywhere.
She did say you have a habit of sort of leaving things around.
It's fine. I'll find it again. He does like look back towards his car and is like, sit and talk.
Look over at Vi. What is her progress?
Vi, as you get down a little further and you look down, you do see Mason by the dumpster with half of his jacket off, shielding something. And you can see the occasion of a wing.
Mason, I've acquired a suspicious cat. Please take suspicious cat. I do not want suspicious cat. And she will deposit suspicious cat.
You do see Seth like flies off with the rat still in his mouth, just like startled.
He'll slip his coat back on and look down at the cat. Go find your
cat
stupid owner. He's gonna give like shoosh hands to the cat.
There's a brief moment where like there's a playful bat and before taking off.
That thing belongs to some idiot lick that's been working around here.
Another one? Oh my god, why are there so freaking many?
I don't know. Rhea needs to find a new place of employment. This is ridiculous.
Like, I figured because it was a suspicious cat, but like you confirming it doesn't help.
The tower's already all up in arms about this whole 2-eye bullshit, and this crap doesn't help. And he pushes himself up off the wall and starts shuffling down the alleyway. Let's figure out what the hell we need to do next. And he's making his way towards where, I'm assuming once he gets up and doesn't have a dumpster obscuring his vision, he can see Maximus and Rhea down the alley, so he'll start shuffling in that direction.
You see Maximus leaning against his car and Rhea talking to a man you do not know. So Rhea, you're talking with Zachariah. Maximus, you can see that Rhea's talking with Zachariah. Vine Mason, you have just seen an orange tabby cat take off.
Do we need to follow it or do we not care?
That's fine. Not our problem.
Hey, Zachariah man, I do want to talk because I think we do have maybe not aligned interests, but maybe parallel interests. I looked down at the food bag he's got, but I think I need to really go have lunch first. Do you know that? And I don't remember the name of our church.
St. Edward's.
You know where St. Edward's is at?
Yeah, it's across town. I don't normally go over that far.
Well, I don't know if you do get off work. I mean, I'm not going to assume you're bag man, but like, if you want to come down later to the church and we can maybe make a plan, maybe for tomorrow night. I don't know if you want to come down, we can talk it out.
Yeah, I can get off tomorrow night. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
Cool. Then
Who knows? I'll leave Zara in charge. We'll see how she does.
just give her a shot, man. We were all there once, right? Sort of. Anyway, I give him. Do you have a cell phone?
It's not really my thing.
Don't worry about it. Just
How about an hour after sunset?
sounds great.
All right.
Enjoy your lunch.
He looks at the bag and goes, "Yeah, I'll enjoy the lunch. Thank you. Thank you." He kind of like walks in. He does see Maximus. It kind of like looks you up and down briefly, gives a little nod, heads inside.
Walk over to Maximus. What's up, man?
Another night, another stakeout.
But not a steak in, right? Am I right?
Way to bring some brevity to a serious situation.
Man, I'm trying to keep it light because things are fucking confusing right now.
Yeah. Okay. That just, you know what? I should wait until everybody is here. Ash thinks that we should not hang out here anymore. Like at all.
I'm thinking maybe it's time to start volunteering somewhere else. It's getting a little crowded around here.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I do not want anything to do with what that guy, and he looks over to where Zachariah is probably heading into the hospital, is dealing with.
I mean, everybody got to be somewhere, man, right? Like, everyone's got a place.
Oh, yeah. No. He can have his place, but trust me, past experience, one of his, you let them have their place and like you don't go anywhere near it. Like nowhere.
I start thinking about the notebook Vi just took. Hey, where's Vi?
Mason
Kind
comes
of-
shuffling up. You
Yeah.
have an infestation problem.
We?
No, Rhea.
The hospital specifically.
Yeah, no, that it's really fucking clear right now.
Like if it was like a coterie maybe, but like this many independent is low.
No, it's clear that everyone thinks that they're flying free in a no-fly zone, and eventually some planes are going to start crashing, and I don't want to be there when that happens. So let's maybe not talk about it in this parking lot because so many cameras. You saw that cat?
Nah.
That's probably a good thing.
It belongs
Um,
to, and he points off in the direction of the parking garage. One of the many problems you have here.
Too many familiars, too many eyes. Let's head out, shall we?
Mason's gonna start shuffling off out to the main road, and as he's walking away, say, "I'll see you all at the church."
Do you need a ride?
He'll look up at the rain coming down. It's lovely weather. Continue shuffling along.
It's kind of his MO. You gotta remember that.
It's probably better. I need to pop over to the bar real quick before heading home.
I should probably do that too.
If Vi, if you want to come join me for a drink, then we'll be right back. We'll be right back around to the church.
Maximus is
Unless-
going to go to the church.
Unless you want to join us, man, you're welcome, I guess.
No, I don't think we appreciate the same vintage.
No worries, man. We'll see you in a little bit.
And then if you two are hunting, go ahead and roll your hunting roll. Is Maximus, or not Maximus, is Mason staying on the street to get all the way over to where the church is? Because it's across town.
Oh, no, he'll take whatever he deems as the most direct route that won't bring him any headaches, essentially. So he won't necessarily trespass into property that is going to have security that's going to harass him for being there. But other than that, he'll cut through places.
Does hunting guy use blood dice? It has been a while.
It does.
Okay.
Maximus, of course, you are the first person to reach the church. It
Is
is
that
exact.
is that portfolio waiting for me?
You get in your office and you see Bo and Lola were laying in like a little puddle together. Lola does growl at you when you walk in, but there is a folder on your desk, the little sticky note on it that says, "I did not take you to be a dog person. Father Donahue."
Make a mental note next time to tell him to stay the hell out of my business.
And what did you ladies get for your rolls?
I roused, I failed, and I got 3 successes.
Okay. Miss Rhea?
I did really, really well. 4 successes. One of them is a critical on the blood die. So I don't know what that does, but that happened.
You do need 2 of those to be a crit.
Okay.
Almost bad. Also got an almost bad.
Oh no. You both are able to find something to eat there. Respectively, it's not hard. The bar is not necessarily crowded, but it's not entirely empty. While it's not popular with like the nursing staff, there's other businesses around that look let out. Look, there's a couple of business people in there, like in suits and ties, and you're able to hunt, find someone.
Vi will take to the alley, and there will probably be a very injured-looking guy screaming and running out.
Yeah, same from the women's restroom. Weird.
You know, 2 different people screaming, and yeah, the woman's crying. She entirely is just gibberish. She's trying to say something. Everybody's like, was there a spider? Was it a rat?
How
You've
many,
got rats in here?
how many aggravated can a human take before they die?
Not that many. Why?
There might be a reason.
Oh, shoot.
Trying to
Yeah.
remember.
I was gonna take 3, but how quickly
Yeah.
do humans die?
I think we can only take.
Yeah, I
to
think
drain, it's 2.
Yeah,
Or
more than
to-
2.
More than 2. So you can't take more than 2 from that human before they start with wolf in sheep's clothing having a problem. Well, they're already gonna have a problem, but so I only take 2 because yeah,
Bonuses, there's a hospital just down the way.
for sure. Somebody should get this lady to the hospital. I think someone beat her up in the bathroom, and I disappear.
You do see like some people being like, oh man, you're okay? You okay? Was it a rat? Are you okay? You don't look you look a little hey, someone want to drive her down to like, and as you're going out the door.
Vi is waiting by her bike, knowing
Okay.
that guy ain't gonna say shit because he just got his ass kicked by like a unassuming looking girl in like goth makeup. He ain't saying shit.
You know, his car took off a little faster than you normally would consider a person could do. Definitely is probably not going to be coming back to this bar. And Vi, as you're waiting, your phone does bing with a text message.
Is it from who I assume it is from?
It is.
Has Anne exited the bar?
Right before she did.
Okay, I am going to text the group chat that I will be by the church when I can. Gotta deal with something. And take off.
Are you going to say anything as Rhea exits the bar?
I group chatted. It's fine.
You do get her group chat, then see Vi very stylishly for a Bruja zoom out of the bar. And I'm going to guess you're going to go to the church.
Yeah. Gonna hop in the van and head to the church.
You get there second. Mason, you're trying to get there as quickly as you can. Takes you considerable amounts of time longer because you are walking. But eventually all 3 of you are at the church. And Mason, when you were there, Lola immediately just runs up to you. Gives you the look of pick me up. How dare you leave me with these people? Pick me up.
He'll scoop her up off the floor and just kind of absently be patting her on the head a little bit as he makes his way back to Max's office to also gather up Bo and see what everybody else is doing.
Max, there is an Australian Shepherd that has basically just laid at the foot of your chair. Happy, content, doesn't seem to mind.
You know, Mason, she's worse than a spoiled child.
The small ones tend to be. They can't really help it. They're not very good at taking care of themselves.
Hmm.
I blame our former stock for breeding them this way.
Well, it's not like we can go back tens of thousands of years to fix that. So
He just scritches Lola behind the ears a little bit more. So, lots of problems at the hospital.
Yeah. We're gonna have company tomorrow.
what?
Yeah, so that nice mortician is gonna come and visit us tomorrow after sundown.
You invited a dragon to our haven.
I mean, at least it's our turf then, right?
Oh, I am glad that we live and operate in such a gray area. We are also soon, not tomorrow soon, but within a week or so, going to have a new kind joining us, despite the months that I have tried to stop that from happening. Some persnickety mom did not appreciate having to have her child fulfill the duties that she signed him up for. So we will be getting a junior priest. Courtesy of the clergy.
Like kindred or like
No.
human?
Human as it comes.
So another human running around.
Yep.
I trust you to handle it, Max.
Yeah, I just got the news tonight and I'm still debating on how we're going to handle it. I might have to bond him, but who knows?
Either that or he's going to have a very patchy memory after moving into this location.
Well, short-term memory loss can develop in people, right, Rhea?
Stress does a hell of a lot to people.
It's tragic, but it happens.
You know, people that work the night shift also tend to live shorter lives, more stress. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can make it work. But yeah, that'll be next week. Oh, Mason, and I'll tell Raheem and Vi too. Ash says that we need to stay away from Parkland. I'm not sure why, other than what we've already discovered of our own means, but yeah, something is happening there, and I'm gonna be honest with you all. Whatever is happening is not worth risking our necks for, unless it's related to the Sabat being back in town.
Well, about that, I'm not entirely sure. It's not.
Well, It could be. The thought has crossed my mind, but until we see proof of that, I'm going to keep my distance. Besides, we have other things to worry about right now, like the hunter that we have not gained any new information on since we started looking for him. So that should be our primary focus in the nights to come, unless something more urgent rears its head.
No problems here.
Do we need to be keeping a closer eye on the cemetery and all those things that were happening in the graveyard and checking in, making sure that, new roses don't pop up?
It wouldn't hurt. I don't have anyone that can put eyes on it, but if either of you has those resources, wouldn't hurt. Although storyteller, what is the Lysombra's name again? I can't think of it for the life of me.
Which one?
Our mutual annoyance.
Remy?
Remy. Yep, thank you. Remy is old, therefore he is not stupid, and I doubt he will use that location again. Who knows? Maybe he slips up. Other news. Another new childer was found by the Baron of Irving. And by found, I mean they were deposited on his doorstep. They are one of mine. Yes, that expression is exactly what I made whenever Ash told me.
All right, so maybe this isn't a rose problem. Maybe this is a bigger than that.
Someone is being extremely irresponsible and is going to draw more attention than we need to this city problem. Yes.
All right. Maybe okay. So I'm not new, but I'm new, but I'm not new. But it takes one to make one in general, right?
Typically.
So if we've got multiple clan offspring popping up, that means that there's more than one kindred doing
Mhm.
that. So we're looking for a group.
Does this
What's even
remind you
worse-
of the sect wars at all, Maximus? This reminds me of a particular tactic that the sword liked to use back then.
Yes.
Massive embraces, throw a city into chaos and destabilize it.
It's similar, but there are certain nuances that don't line up. We're not seeing a dozen people go missing. Well, we're not particularly looking, but the other is that typically they don't just deposit those newborns willy-nilly. They create a pack, so they all usually stick together, especially if they're brand new. It would take time. There's a lot that goes into it.
Well, and you wouldn't necessarily, I mean, the young lady that we found in the diner, she was kind of on her own, but you wouldn't make a Lasombra and then dump them on the Baron's doorstep if you were trying to destabilize, right? Like you would make them hard to find or set them out in the wild or
Not
Unless you're sending
necessarily.
a message.
Exactly. Listen, the Sabbat are radical, but they are not stupid. they're impractical, but with the right kindred behind the helm, who knows? The tower and the movement have evolved since the final nights. And as much as the Sabbat are stuck in their ways and beliefs, they would not still be around if they were not also evolving.
Well, it's kind of like two towers in its own way.
No. Gods, I wish there was an easy way to explain the differences between the two. They are separate political sects, but the real problem is that most Sabbat, not all, but most, are anti-tribute for the, and if you that they don't subscribe to being part of a clan, which makes it even more difficult for us to determine what's happening, because if there's this mass embracing going on, they could just be being told to claim a clan that can have any number of abilities that are shared by their pack. There's so many wild cards. It's one of the things that the Sabbat has always had over the other sects, is that they are unpredictable. And as much as the anarchs want us to believe that they don't have structure, they do. And when you have two sects that are structured and one that is completely unstructured, that's what makes it difficult.
So if it's a message, what's the message then? I don't need permission. I can do what I want. I can make as many kindred as I like, and nay.
That's a good start.
A calling card. You gotta remember, most of the kindred that didn't live through that time, and even a lot of them that did, the Sabbat's a big boogeyman in kindred society. Lots of misinformation, lots of misconceptions, most of them fostered by the sect itself. It could be as simple as, hey, we're here.
That's an expensive calling card.
Not
If
for
you
them.
value kindred life. My experience from the sect war is these mass embraces, a lot of them are expected to be cannon fodder. Throw them to the wolves, let them cause as much damage as possible before they're taken out. They're not seen as kindred or whatever the hell it is that those guys call themselves. They're seen as something less, a tool. If they make it, some of them get pulled in, start doing more, but they don't care if they die.
That's horrible.
Yeah, be thankful you didn't get embraced in the 90s.
No, but 10 years earlier than that, but geez.
Yeah. Don't
I
mind
get
me
it.
just looking at my sheet to remind myself that Maximus was embraced in 99.
Hey, that's still in the midst of the sect war. It hadn't tapered off yet. You got a good enough taste of it.
But yeah, I talked to Ash. She's gonna talk to the prince. Not that I care, but I did tell her that whatever the situation is, the thing that happened with that rose was a one-off, an amalgam. If we run into somebody like that again, they don't deserve to be in the situation that they are in. And it is not moral for them to continue on that path. So Raheem can swallow his conscience, because I will not allow any of them to wreak havoc on this city.
We were able to help that girl. She's not wreaking havoc anywhere.
And now the other one is in the hands of an anarch baron. Who's to say where the next one goes? How many more have to be made before we see on the news about some kind of nightclub having multiple people killed, the traffic stop going bad? If it were up to the tower, they would kill them on spot, which is what I'm going to do. And once we find out who is doing this, they will also be killed.
Well, let's do that then, as best we can.
I can put some ears to the ground. Keep an eye out for certain tags popping up.
Again, like I said, our main focus is to find that hunter, because if he has not already sent out a call to aid, I would suspect that he is going to soon.
How do we do that?
We unfortunately wait for Raheem so we can try to figure out what is in Remy's journal and put together the context clues. Apparently, this guy is elusive already, so it's going to take us a significant amount of effort to find him, but we have to.
Yeah, that's the problem. This whole Second Inquisition hysteria that's sweeping across the globe right now. They're ghosts. They don't operate in any kind of blatant manner. At least not until the moment that they're ready to strike. At which point, all instances so far have been pretty exacting. But up until that point, it's a little tricky to try to get your finger on the pulse.
Yep. It's even worse if this one is what we suspect as an independent that's not actually affiliated with any group. The things that have happened in other places, London, LA, they were technically Second Inquisition, but they're branch groups. None of them are part of one organization.
Think of
They
it
share
like terrorists and how they operate in cells.
Yes.
One cell doesn't necessarily know what the hell is going on with another cell.
In fact, it's more likely that they would clash against each other if they met.
But rogues like this, they're great for drawing attention, making more organized units realize there's something to be paying attention to. And shit like that hospital certainly ain't going to help matters. You put a bunch of us in one place, discrepancies start piling up.
Sounds like bait to me. Hunter bait? Maybe we stay away, but we keep an eye on it. Because it's clearly starting to make a ruckus. And could be a place to see someone come out.
We should definitely keep an eye on it.
Yep.
Maximus. Your phone receives a text.
Who is it now?
It's from Ash.
This is either going to be good news or bad news. There's no in between. So
Because she texts you directly, she does not use emojis. Irving. Alive. Grand Prairie. 2. Carrollton. 1. Garland. 1.
how many are you saying Grand Prairie? 2
2.
and 1 in Carrollton.
1 in Garland.
I text back and say tonight with like 7 question marks.
It takes her a few moments to text back. Yes.
Maximus just stares at his phone for a minute and like y'all could, if you're paying attention, you can see his hand like squeeze it. And he has to like suppress the urge to throw the thing against the wall and break it.
Looks like
Well,
more good news.
There's our message.
And what was it?
So Maximus also has a map of kind of like the greater Metroplex area in his office with like locations of the churches that are affiliated with his like the Catholic Church and the people that he works with directly. He grabs some thumbtacks. It's got like different colored ones on there and everything like that, and pins them in the locations where the city names are, just like in the middle of the city itself, not in any particular location. So he puts, a black thumbtack and Irving looks back at the phone before he grabs more thumbtacks and texts back family ?
She texts back. Grand Prairie G. Carrollton with a question mark. And Garland with a C.
The next message that he's putting up like thumbtacks while he's sending this. The both Grand Prairie, both G question mark, C no family question mark.
Yes.
Okay, he puts 2 green thumbtacks on Grand Prairie, a blue one on Carrollton, and a white one on Garland.
She does text you back. Carrollton is another rose.
Takes the blue one and replaces it with a red one. Oh, I need to write down the one for Dallas.
And could everyone please make me a wits and awareness?
Five.
One of them's a 10.
6 with a messy crit.
Rhea, you're a little absorbed in the map. Looking at the different colors, trying to piece it all together.
Horrifying. Oh no.
But you do catch sight of the fact that the desk lamp on Maximus's desk flickers. Maximus, you immediately know when the lamp starts flickering. And you can feel Bo shift against you. And Bo's, out of both of them, the calm one. He starts growling. And how he's setting is he's mostly under your desk. So he's kind of tucked his back end in between your legs. The legs of your chair. Mason. What sets you off is the fact that Lola starts barking and growling and whimpering. And she starts flailing in your arms. Who is closest to the door?
Probably
I
Mason.
would've-
He tends to pace around in the back of rooms.
Yeah,
I
the
would've
desk
gotten
is on
close
the
to the
opposite
map.
side of the room.
Yeah.
You see what looks like darkness on the other side of the door, seeping in through the cracks.
He'll instinctively kind of, without even really thinking about it, he kind of slightly tosses Lola back behind him. And he gets a kind of hunch stance and his fangs bare instantaneously, and he kind of has a low guttural growl start emitting from him.
And you hear on the door, knock, knock, knock.
I'm gonna rouse for potence. I pass. Maximus just looks at Mason nods.
I'm also rousing for feral weapons. Passed. And doing them as claws.
You can dimly hear as Lola has gone and hid herself under bow. After a few moments, knock, knock, knock.
Mason will, does the door from Max's office open out into the church or into the office?
Into the office.
Okay.
So it's like imagine the room is like rectangular and the door is at the far end of the room where you're at, with like it opens in and the desk is like on the far back wall, maybe like 8-10 feet away. It's not a big office.
Mason will pull the door open in a way that's going to keep him behind the door and out of sight as he does so, and just let it open up into the office.
In the doorway stands a very tall man. Neat suit. Short, almost platinum blonde hair. And piercing blue eyes. Mason, you're behind the door. You cannot see him. Rhea and Maximus, you do recognize him. And Maximus, it is the last person you think would be at your door.
Who is it?
It is the Seneschal. And as he looks at both of you, kind of looks towards the door, he holds up a head by the hair. You might want to add another pin to the board. And that is where we are going to end for tonight.